And we are back. Welcome back to the Road to Making Bank podcast, episode 5. That was a nice little warm up. We've now got a pump up song, "Lowrider" by War.
Love it. Worked. Felt good.
Hell yeah! I was doing Eye the Tiger before that with my my mouth music.
Yeah, I love it. Maybe we can just sing them. I don't know if we have to pay people to use these, but that felt good.
Yeah, maybe we can cut that up and slip it in there and not get a copyright strike.
Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah,
All this
I don't
shit we
think
have to
anyone's
deal
going
with
to
now.
strike us yet.
YouTube go after anyone, man. They're just they're ruthless.
Really?
Yeah, you can't play music, play videos with music, because I always see people when they're talking about and playing someone else's video, they're always pausing it, because
I think you get like 30 seconds or something.
yeah,
And then they
like it's fair use or something. Or,
yeah,
fair enough, because you could just play someone else's video. And,
15-second pauses or 30-second pauses in between.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. Anyway, we're back for some entrepreneurial talk and bit of macro talk, and it's evolved into a bit of self-development talk as well, isn't it? It's just a bit of everything.
Yeah, well, everything
We're
that
branching out, aren't we?
that incorporates having a business. I suppose when your business involves people, it's all about mindset, work ethic,
That's right.
moolah.
You just got to have all
Values.
your shit together generally, don't you? And yeah, and to be able to you know, go head on into it, starting a business, you got to have lots of other facets of your life kind of lined up, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do and you don't. I mean, some people's stories started from rock bottom. So, yeah, I think the great thing about business is that you can start from anywhere. Sometimes you just got to start.
That's true. That's very true. Yep. Yeah. It goes either way, I guess.
Yeah.
You could be in a really bad place, I guess, and just go for it and get yourself out of that bad place through hard work.
That's it. Yeah, it's listening to a podcast over the weekend, or yesterday, day before. Alex Hormozi again.
Oh, Mosey, he's your new man.
Yeah, I like him. He's my boy.
I'll get into him eventually. It takes me a bit of time with all these YouTubers to move to the next one.
They're talking about, usually it's people who are comfortable where they are don't really make any changes to their life. It's people who hate their life that or hate their situation that are the ones that are more willing to make the change.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I think they had some sort of quote, which was, if it's more painful to stay in the situation you're in than it is to change, then you'll make the change. So.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's I can apply it to my life, I guess. Yeah, making a big change. But I guess I've made lots of changes in the last 5 years of my life, and it's going to keep going. It's going to keep doing it.
Keep making those changes. Change is good.
Change until something works. It's my philosophy. Or, change and into something else, get experience, live a little, and just keep moving, keep doing stuff, I think.
You're going to be living
essential.
The baller lifestyle up there.
I hope so, man. Well, I'm tripling my money just by going there. Which actually brings me to something that I was going to mention. This is a little anecdotal quote from Life in Melbourne, everyone. So Luca, a couple of weeks ago, bought dinner from this Indian restaurant down the road. And it cost you, what, $65?
Yeah, 65.
Just for some takeaway.
Yeah.
And how would you rate the quality and the servings of that meal?
It was one meal.
Yeah, one meal.
It would be like a meal for one.
Did it fill you up?
I could have eaten it all pretty comfortably.
And more, yeah.
Well, you
didn't eat it all at the
much.
time?
No, well, I saved it for the next day.
Yeah.
Just because we had this going, so.
Yeah, but looking at the servings, I saw like a little bit of smush mashed potato. It just, I don't know. Anyway, my point is, that's $65. Could have got you 2 meals a day in Thailand for 2 weeks. So, just saying.
It has its benefits.
It's just an example of the increase in purchasing power you get when you're going to a developing country with a strong and using a stronger currency. So that's part of my plan, and I guess it will just make I can stay there longer, I guess, to try to work on my like online businesses and stuff, which, you know, it buys you time really, and I think time is what I need at the moment, so should be good. Hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, which is we talk about observations. That was one of the observations. Another Hormozi quote is that time is not the most valuable thing that you have. Attention is, where you pay that attention. This is talking about, you know, if someone focuses entirely on one thing, they'll get there a lot faster than someone who's giving their attention up to 10 different things. You know, so if you just focus 12 hours a day on one task, it's likely, you know, probable that you'll complete that task or you'll get that thing done.
Instead of just chipping at it and just smashing it out, sort of thing.
Instead of you spending 1 hour a week on it and then spending, you know, 12 hours amongst 12 different things, 12 hours on one thing will get you get something done. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, because you could have all the time in the world and still not get anything done.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And it takes a while to when you start a task, it can take a while to get into it. You know, just to like get your focus sorted. Your maybe like 15 minutes or something. It's like, yeah, right.
You find that go for a swim. Just go for a swim out in the ocean. It's the first couple 100 meters that you struggle, and then by the end, you know, you've done like 1.5 km and you're like in the zone. Yep.
Just got to push through that barrier.
Yeah, but those first couple 100 meters are the worst.
It's like focus your attention instead of splitting it up over different tasks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was, you know, we're talking about. You were saying that you need time, and we're saying that. Yeah, it just popped into my head, that quote. So something to keep mindful of.
Nice, Hormozi. Yeah. Anything else you had from Hormozi? Did you have something else?
Yeah, there was a couple. It was saying that every business has debt. What that debt is different for every business. His example was he was talking to a group of university students who were looking to start businesses. I think they were obviously doing a business course of some sort. And he asked the question to the class was, why aren't all of you making $10 million a year? Because the answer was because you don't know how. So they have ignorance debt.
Yes.
They're ignorant. They don't have the skills to be able to do it. So that's the debt that their business will have when they start. Whereas other businesses might have financial debt. I mean, you know, if you're starting a business, you might not have any money to start with. So it might be ignorance debt. It might be financial debt. It might be, you might have debts already existing. You know? So it might be that you're in a negative.
So that ignorance debt is really knowledge debt sort of thing. Ignorance of
lack of knowledge.
Yeah, lack of knowledge. Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's, you know, it was one thing to go through when you start your business is what type of debt do you have? You know, figure out what is the business lacking? Where is the debt that business has to start off with?
Yeah. And instead of just looking at finances, you look at everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, more of a well-rounded sort of approach, so you can see
top-down sort of view, macro view, holistic view. I don't know what you want to call it, but
yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. He was, you know, for an example, he was saying that with clients, if he was he does advertising, marketing, and he was saying, oh well, you know, people complain when they don't want to start a business because they're just a small business, don't have any clients, brand new to the industry, and like, okay, well, what's your advantage? And he was saying that, well, if I was someone starting out brand new with no clients, I'd be telling my clients, well, look, there's no point speaking to Alex because you'll never be able to speak to him. You'll never reach him. He's got a whole team. You know, he'll never have any time for you. Yeah. Whereas me, I'm fresh in the industry. I'm ready to go. I can give you all of my attention. We can make it work. I'll do everything to make it work. We'll make it personal, customize everything to fit your business because I can dedicate as much time as I need to helping your business grow.
So this is like an ideal sort of pitch.
This would be a pitch. You know, if you had two businesses, one was someone who's making millions and has done it a million times, and someone who's brand new to the industry who doesn't have any experience but wants to start.
Yeah.
And
pitch is important, isn't it?
On Alex's side, he was saying that my argument would be, well, why would you trust this kid that lives in his mum's basement and doesn't have any experience?
Yeah.
Whereas I've done it thousands of times.
Yeah, I mean, if they're competing for that client's work, that's a good way to say it, I guess.
So it's finding what you have, and you know, instead of seeing it as a negative, try and rephrase it into a way that it makes it positive. Which is really good. Because for someone like me, I'm quick to be like, oh, this isn't going to work. You know, I like the idea, but then when I'm like, okay, let's put this into practice, I'm like, nah, it's not going to work. I just get, what's the word?
Just jumping over that first hurdle.
Yeah, so I'm trying to rephrase things in a positive way where you can make it an advantage rather than a disadvantage.
Like, would you use that approach to kind of the businesses you've approached so far, like the
I just think in general,
stuff? Just
like try and look at things, anything negative that comes up that I think, oh no, this isn't going to work for this reason. I'm like, okay, how can I rephrase this to make it an advantage?
Yeah. Makes sense. Absolutely.
That way you slowly change the mindset.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. I got a couple of quotes. Bring some bit of poetry into this. So my favorite poet, William Blake. And I kind of just thought about, in particular, this quote from The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. The road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom. It's probably like, besides song lyrics and stuff, that's probably like a line that's really stayed in my head, and I thought it was really really beautiful line. So I guess what I'd take from it is kind of like try stuff, take it to its full potential. That can be different aspects of life, but you're gonna learn something just by pushing it, going hard. And it could be bad, could be good, but you'll gain some wisdom from it, I think. So that could have been us partying 10 years ago. Excess alcohol and cigarettes and leaving Pony at 7 a.m. But, I mean, it could be working too hard. Could be eating too many Doritos on the couch. I don't know. What do you think about that quote?
Yeah, well, I think of it from a hedonistic perspective.
Yeah, that's how I initially looked at it.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing. Just doing everything to excess, and then realizing that maybe this isn't as good as it seemed at the start. Especially if that's your aim, if that's your goal.
Yeah, like what are you trying to get out of it? You mean like
yeah.
So if you had a different, yeah.
I mean, from a monetary perspective, a lot of business people or wealthy people aim, strive to get a lot of money in the bank, and then once they got it, they realize that it's not really, it hasn't made them happier. Yeah. And for some people, it has made them happier, but for other people, it hasn't made them happier at all. Some people have even gone backwards and made their lives worse.
Yeah.
So I think I
wonder what those percentages are. Someone that's made bank, because some people is just not going to make them happy. But I think generally, bank is going to make people happier. I think it does affect happiness.
A lot of people are saying that money doesn't change people; it just amplifies who they are.
Yeah.
So if you're a happy person with a positive attitude and you're doing well in life and you make a lot of money, then you're probably just going to keep getting happier and doing better things. If you're a miserable person, you make, heaps of money, then it's probably just going to make things worse over time because you might still just be using it in a negative way, or maybe you're around people who are only using you. And so, that negativity continues to grow. So I think it's all about how you use that money. So I guess you kind of got to do that. Some people do really well in business, but suffer on a personal level. So I think, if you want to be successful in business, it's all about doing the personal work as well, I think.
Yeah. I guess personality, it's not going to change that much, is it? But in terms of happiness, so, you're a miserable dude that's made a lot of money, you could still be miserable. And but I think generally, good financial circumstances will bring people up on the happiness level.
Well, it gives you one less thing to be concerned about. If you're in a position where you're financially free, then it's just one less stress factor.
Yeah. Unless, and let's face it, like for me especially, it's been a pretty big stress factor in my life, just having to think about where the money's going to come from, and makes sense. It's better with it, I'd say.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think anyone's saying that life without it is better, but it depends. But, I mean, I
kind of did have that attitude. Like,
have you lived without it?
20s. I was like, I don't care. I'm all about making art, which is cool. But like, I struggled a lot with the finances. So it was like, it was my fault. Maybe kind of spending beyond my means and that sometimes, but It's. But in saying that, like the pursuing music and stuff, it was very satisfying at certain points in my life. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess for me it was always just, who cares? It was like live day to day.
Yeah.
But like I had a pretty good job working at the bank.
Yeah.
I was making enough.
So you had money for beers.
I had money for beers and for a lot of beers.
And ciggies.
Yeah. So that was great because that's all I really wanted to do.
Port Royal.
Yeah. Port Royals were great. I don't know if they are anymore. They certainly don't smell like they used to.
Yeah, right. You can't tell anymore because of all the weird packaging. I don't know who's smoking them. But yeah, cool, man. I had one more quote from old mate William Blake. He who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. So I thought that was a cool one. So I look at that and say, okay, you have a guy that's, maybe lives life a bit different from us. He's looking at some guy's car, he's looking at a Ferrari, and he's like, I want that. And he maybe he's not prepared to put in the work to get it. He maybe thinks, some petty crime or some sort of contraband selling might get him there. Or does nothing, gets frustrated, gets jealous, breeds pestilence. I could apply that to my life a bit. Could you apply that to your life, Luca?
Yes. Yes and no. I guess it's a fine line because these days a lot of people are talking about delayed gratification. It's successful people think that there's like three things that they all have in common is that they think they deserve more. They have a super high sense of or feeling of inadequacy.
Even when they're successful, yeah.
Yeah, and
right.
They're really good at, I think it was delayed gratification.
So you mean like working before treating yourself or something? Is that what you mean?
I think so. Yeah, it's basically just putting in all the work without the without the reward, and just continually putting in that work without needing the reward.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like what the quote stands for and what it means, but
yeah, that what you're saying applies to that quote. Yeah, sorry. Cut you off.
You think that's what that means?
Oh, it applies to it, yeah. Because he who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. So when you're practicing delayed gratification, you're acting because you're working, right?
Well, yeah, actually,
it's implied.
That's true. So you're working towards it.
Yeah. So you're not acting on that desire. Yeah.
I thought that quote meant, yeah. I suppose, yeah, okay.
So you're acting. So in the quote it's saying acts not. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it depends on what those desires are, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it is eating those Doritos, then maybe, if you act on that, then maybe that's not good. So
yeah, but can you afford to eat those Doritos? That's the question. Or are you prepared to sacrifice in the future? Like not eat that. So you ate that bag of Doritos, that whole bag of Doritos now. You're not going to have... Are you prepared to sacrifice that half bag of Doritos you're going to eat, save it for 3 days later or whatever? It's like you just eat the whole thing now.
Yeah, I don't think Doritos are going to be that good 3 days later anyway. Probably just eat them now.
Yeah. I just put a rubber band and seal it up.
Yep. Bag it up. But it makes sense. If there is something out there. Well, I mean, the regrets that most people have when they die is that they didn't do what they wanted to, right? There's the chances they didn't take that stays with them. So I guess that's that regret.
Yeah.
So maybe another word for the pestilence can be regret in that sense.
Yeah. That'd be synonymous, I'd say. Absolutely, man. So the moral is, what is it? Act.
If there's something you desire,
act morally.
Act towards it.
That's right. Cool, man. Have you made any progress in your courses? Have you got any new courses?
I wouldn't say any progress in any of the courses at the moment.
Same.
Flying to Sydney tomorrow.
Yes.
To do a course. There's a 3-day workshop.
It's a new course, yep.
Iconic speaker event. So that should be interesting. See how it goes. I feel like there's going to be a lot of personal development involved.
Yeah, okay. You think it'll be related to speaking mainly, or will it be all kind of facets of life sort of thing?
Well, it's about public speaking, a lot of it, and then it's also about...
Oh, that's about, that's right, building your business.
Well, I think it's
around...
I'm trying to figure out what skills I have and how I can put everything that I know into a business or into a course or into something that I can deliver to people that's going to be of use or of value. And then finding out, so what do I have? How can I make it purposeful and valuable? And then who's going to get the most benefit from it?
Yeah.
Or any benefit from it?
I think that kind of circular nature, sort of incorporating all these different skills, you're on the right path to that. We can talk about that in a bit, but yeah. And then, with this, can you explain the course a bit more, maybe, to the audience?
Well, I can't. Maybe I'll be better off explaining it to you next week.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm not really sure what the curriculum involves, so I can't really say much more than that.
But it's generally like, it's about like, so you have a skill that you might not know how to, send that out into the world and teach people or whatever. And the course is being able to speak about that skill, right? And kind of get it out there and market it and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are trying to find what they're good at. And, they did say that if there is nothing that you're good at or nothing that you're an expert at, then find something and work on it, work towards it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what they have to say. We'll tell you on the next one. What about you? How's the courses going?
Nah, I feel guilty, but I've had other priorities. But tomorrow I'm gonna smash some because I got a lot done today in terms of logistical stuff. So yeah, I'll do a good 5, 6 hours.
What are you gonna do tomorrow?
Well, should I do the options trading one or the digital marketing one? I could throw it up, really.
Which one's going to get you closer to starting?
I could be making money quicker with the options trading.
Do that one.
Okay. All right. Done. Makes sense. Tomorrow. It's happening.
Right. I like it.
I'll see Henry tomorrow.
5 hours? 5 or 6 hours, you said?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I've done it before.
All right. We'll put you down. I'll put you down for 5.
Just send me a message tomorrow and say you're doing that course.
I'll put you down for 6. I'll pencil you in for 6. Tentative 6.
Lock it in. Hey, it's a video course at the moment, so it's pretty easy. It's a lot of note taking though. I am a fan of notes, so I'm constantly pausing and letting those concepts soak in, which I recommend to everyone out there. For knowledge retention. Let us know anyone out there, how you how you go with video courses and that. How you kind of, do you take notes? Do you watch it through all the way once and then take notes a second time? Be pretty interesting. Yeah. Good, man. All right, businesses. I had a bit of an ad pitch for your idea of circular, like a business that incorporates nature in a circular kind of non-wasteful way. But so Luca's idea is about kind of getting these different not skills, what's the word? I don't know the word. These different activities.
Industries. I don't know.
Yeah, there's another word I'm looking for. Can't think of it. And archery, horse riding, sailing, and he wanted to put it together in a bit of a program. But your ad pitch could be, so if you're passionate about not having a passion, try all these different things. Or if you don't have a passion, why not just
do it all?
Yeah, you could be passionate about not having a passion and just doing everything.
Yeah, I like it.
So you could throw it out there like that.
That works, because that's how I feel.
You could be like, can't find your passion? Do it all.
Try it all.
Lucas circular skills course, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like it. I mean, that's definitely how I've felt my whole life. I was very envious of people who just would pick something and then just spent all their time doing it. Just loved it.
Yeah, I can see that would be hard in a way. Absolutely.
Because there was just nothing that I hated the world for probably most of my life. So I don't know if
it'd lead to feeling a bit lost, maybe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's
I felt that when I felt disillusioned with things, So for some people, if you feel that a lot, yeah,
yeah, you just got to find ways to get around it. You just keep moving, try things, just try different things. You don't have to dedicate some time to it.
So this could be for those people, sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess the idea would to be get them to a level where they can actually use those skills.
Yeah.
Whether it be
put it into practice.
Yeah, putting it into practice, whether it be as something social or as a form of work or whatever the case, even if it's, for themselves.
Yep.
To benefit themselves, in some way.
I see that working for people that eventually want to live off the land or live in the country. Because when I think of what you've done, I think of when I lived in the country for a year and a half. And I just think if there was like a lake or like somewhere you could sail, like a river or something next to where I lived, you could have all this shit. You could shoot arrows into the trees, chop wood, fire, go sailing. There was horses next door. Yeah.
A lot of these things are, like we said, I think we discussed already, but a lot of these jobs or a lot of these skills you can do almost anywhere in the world, at least one or two of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty handy to have. And like I said, yeah, if you are living off grid or if you just, got a homestead or something like of that nature, then
you could do a fire building aspect of that course as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it
chopping, just something simple like using a block splitter or something.
That's it. Make it as simple or as complex as you want, and just have different tiers for.
Yeah, and that'd be awesome. People. Awesome for people, younger people as well, growing up on tablets and iPhones and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the, from personal experience, not having any skills, and then if you get told you're an idiot and you don't have any skills, then you're an idiot. You know, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true until that changes.
Yeah.
And the only way to change that is to learn something.
Step to change.
You know, so it's
true. It's harsh, but true.
So getting past that, I know for myself, it wasn't until I started my ARB apprenticeship and like, you know, tried to give everything a go and found out that I could do things. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not an idiot. You know, it was like, maybe I can actually do something.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't know until you have that experience.
Yeah.
You know,
it was lucky for you because you started working by chance with our mates, right? And then
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until I was, you know, 30 meters up a tree and I had to cut a piece of timber out, I had to cut the top of a tree out, and there was no one else to do it. So you kind of have to do it. So it wasn't until that moment I was like, okay, there's no one else that can do it now. And if I mess this up, it's on me. So I have to do it right. Well, I mean, I was the one at the top of the tree.
Yeah.
And I had to cut the top of the tree out.
But you'd never done it before.
Well, not at that height, and definitely not that big.
It's baptism by fire.
Pretty much. But it was just not having anyone else to rely on. You just kind of had to make it work. So it was pretty interesting. That was the first moment that it really clicked in my mind.
In the deep end.
Yeah.
You must have felt good after doing it, right?
Yeah, and I guess my point was, like you said, people growing up on tablets and video games, which I did as well. You know, I loved video games when I was a kid. If you don't have any of those experiences where you're testing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, then you find that either consciously or unconsciously you have that understanding that there's something missing. And then you sort of lose that confidence.
Well, you're not, yeah.
Or you don't build that confidence.
That's when guys, it seems to be when guys in particular, males, fall into depression. When they're not, you know, when they're not actualizing what they know they should be doing, really. Yeah.
But, yeah, so maybe that's, maybe I can work on that tomorrow or over the next few days.
Your business?
Yeah, in the course. See if we can incorporate that in that way.
Do it, man. Throw those ideas out to him. And I've just written that phrase down, baptism by fire. That'd be a good name for your course?
Oh, I like it.
I think it'd be pretty sick. Baptism by fire.
Put it down.
Write that shit down.
What I have penned you in for 6 hours with Henry tomorrow. Tentative 6 hours I've written with Henry.
Nice, man. Just make sure I do it.
I'll give you a call tomorrow.
All right. Do it, man, if you want to. Cool. All right, business ideas. So I had an idea that I quickly saw on the YouTube algorithm and that I looked at today. Rain Sound YouTube channel. Millions of views. First one that came up, 10 million views. Another, 10 plus million, 136 million under that on the search. And it's pretty cool, man. I did like a 10-minute meditation before. And then after that, I was like, I still want to meditate, but maybe it would be better with rain sounds instead of doing it with nothing. So I put the rain sounds on. And it was good. Very cool. So
yeah, I mean,
I can understand why people listen to it.
It was playing when I came in, and it was playing for about 10-15 minutes, and then when you stopped it, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There was an eeriness of silence, and I didn't like it. So I can see how it could become addictive. People just put it on, and then when they turn it off, they just got to,
I'll probably put it on after this, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It was strange.
Yeah.
Strange for when you turned it off, and then I had this feeling like, no, I don't like this. Put it back on.
Yeah. So people can get addicted to it.
I reckon you could, yeah. And that's probably why it has so many views.
And it'd be fun. It'd be fun to record. It's like field recording.
You could do one of the elements. I think if you do like a rain one, but maybe also the sound of like a fire, like a bonfire, just an open fire, crackling wood and stuff.
There'd be definitely crackling wood fire videos on YouTube as well.
Just have like an elemental channel.
Fuck yeah. I might do it, man, to be honest.
You know, wind in the trees.
It'd be very fun and very easy. Let's get a cool image. Don't know about getting the footage. Maybe use stock footage. But
just film stuff. Go for a walk in the bush or
yeah,
walk along the beach.
And animal sounds would be awesome.
You could just sit a tripod on the beach and just aim it out at the ocean.
Yep. I got a portable my Apogee Duet audio interface that can be used for field recording. Be cool. You know, birds of the forest sounds. Get a kookaburra laughing. That'd be cool.
Find a little lyrebird.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited. I want to do it.
It could be a new thing instead of wildlife photography, just nature sounds.
Yeah, and if I'm in like Bangkok in Thailand,
nature sounds with Shannon.
Throw the mic outside of the balcony when it's raining monsoon.
And have all kinds of different exciting, exotic animals that we don't know about.
Sounds of Bangkok, it can just be people. You know, the sounds of people.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Hey, people and nature as well. Cool. All right. So, we don't have many listeners.
Business ideas. I've got an idea. So I was trying to book a ticket for the Skybus yesterday.
Oh.
And booked out until June. The other one's booked out until August. Coming back.
The Skybus is booked out.
Yeah. So my idea is compete with the Skybus and also have one set up so that it's further out. So instead of going from...
Wait a minute. I'm going to stop you. The Skybus is booked out. There's one every 15 minutes.
I couldn't buy a ticket.
To any, like, all day?
Till June.
That is insane. I haven't seen that many people coming and going from here.
I don't know, but I couldn't book one.
Maybe there's less Skybuses or something. Anyway, yeah, sorry, keep going.
Very weird. So instead I'm parking at the airport now for the week, which actually turns out to be not as expensive as I thought.
Oh, wait. Tomorrow. I'll give you a lift, man.
That's all right. I already paid for the parking.
Oh, fuck. Dude. I should have. I'm not working.
That's all right. Anyway. But it's good because I can leave my car there. It's not going to get messed with.
How much was it?
It was $84.
Yeah, okay.
For the week. That's pretty good.
Not bad, but still would have driven you. You should have asked me, man. Anyway.
I was, but then I just realized that I could park there and it wasn't going to be a problem. And it keeps it off the street as well, so that's good.
Cool.
But my point was, if you have a shuttle bus, going from somewhere from the suburbs all the way to the airport, have that as well as one that goes from the city to the airport, then you'd be doing pretty well. Because everyone in Melbourne has to get to Southern Cross.
And if you're not in the city, you got to catch a train from the burbs.
You got to catch a train or a tram. But if you've got one from the burbs all the way to the airport, you're set.
Wasn't there one that came down here? Like a Skybus or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe that's just a tourist bus or something. But yeah, but if you're in, like, we're in St Kilda, it's so easy to just hop on the tram and go to Southern Cross, get the Skybus from Southern Cross. But yeah, if you're in the burbs, there's
a lot of changeovers.
Melbourne.
I think for convenience, people would much rather just jump on one bus and just take you all the way to the airport.
Yeah.
So that could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and especially now that Melbourne's getting bigger and it's, the suburbs are pushing further and farther out. It's probably worth considering these days.
Yeah.
A lot of those country towns are becoming suburban towns now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible.
Anyway, that was an idea.
Make the money work, yeah. Awesome. Okay, businesses, yeah. Nothing else there. Well, that we haven't talked about. Any new skill sets you want to learn relating to life or business?
New skill sets. Well, one was budgeting. I'm no good at it.
Yes.
I've never really tried it, to be honest. To be completely honest, I've never really tried. But
it shouldn't be hard. But
listen to a podcast with Ramit Sethi. I think his book's called "I Will Make You Rich," and he talks about a money dial. So rather than budgeting and setting up all your incoming and outgoings, and dedicating portions of money to each single expense, you focus on what it is you love and then setting aside money for that. So he talks about this money dial, and money dial just basically being something that you'll turn the money dial up to 10 for this particular thing.
So you're prioritizing that sort of thing. Yep.
His example was clothing. And like it goes back to what we said about money amplifying people rather than changing people. So his thing was clothing. He loves clothing. He will spend as much money as he wants on clothes because he just loves them. That's his thing. Whereas other things that people are into, like supercars and stuff like that, he has no interest in, so he doesn't buy them.
Yep.
But will happily spend a lot of money on clothes. So that's his money dial. And he said he has a friend that just relationships is their thing. They host parties all the time, invite all their friends over, and they just spend, there's no expenses.
There's no ceiling.
Yeah, there's no ceiling for hosting parties and having people over and entertaining people and things like that.
Yeah.
So he talks about finding out what your money dial is. What is something that you will happily spend money on, and you find value from that, whatever it is, and setting aside and budgeting more for that. So setting aside money per week or per month so that you can buy that thing, and then the rest you've got.
Yeah, and then so that would mean you'd have to restrict yourself with other purchases that aren't on that money dial sort of thing. So, say if you are looking at a car or something, that you're not, you might not gather that much satisfaction from or something. Maybe. Did he say anything about it? Or that's what I'm just thinking.
Well, yeah, you've still got everything else that needs to be paid. But let's say if it is clothes, let's say, all right, you love shoes, so you put money aside each month for shoes, and maybe you like really expensive shoes, but maybe there's not a particular pair of shoes that you want this month, so you just add that to next month's, and then next month you might get a pair of shoes that are twice as expensive, but you've sort of got this rollover.
Okay.
Or you might not spend any money on shoes that month either, and then the month after, there's 3 pairs of shoes that you want, so you end up buying 3 pairs, but it's really costs you no extra because you've set money aside each month.
Will you actually write this down, sort of thing, or
Yeah, I think you would. Yeah,
you do the math on it, sort of thing.
It's explained in his book. I haven't read it, but the other thing he was talking about is, which I did mention to you, is doing, getting a book, getting a couple of mates. If there's a book about money that you find interesting, get a couple of mates to all read the book, get on the same page. No pun intended.
Oh yeah.
Or pun intended. And read about it and then discuss it. And then you're all skilled up on that book and you can implement it.
You'd learn a lot better, I'd say, if you could do that.
Sure. And then that's just a good way, or a interesting way to just keep reading books about money or business or entrepreneurship, in general.
Yeah. Bit of a book club sort of thing.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it necessarily has to be people sitting around. I mean, I don't know what people read together at book clubs, or do they just get together and talk about books? But yeah, you could do that.
You could schedule like a call or something, like a Zoom call.
Yeah, for sure.
Just go for a beer and actually do it to talk about the book or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That sounds good. Maybe we should do it.
Yeah, I suppose we could, and then have a review. A review.
Yeah.
Once a month, or
force us to read the book, I guess. We have a time limit on it or something. Yeah. It's a good idea. I have got a book list that I need to read. Should I put one on there today? What was it? Oh, it was the ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Ken McElroy. I got about, 20 books on my book list.
Is he Australian?
No, American guy. Yeah. Big real estate guy. He's a good dude. He's kind of crew with George Gammon, Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah.
The big dogs.
He was on Robert Kiyosaki's show today. I listened to his segment. Yeah, the big dogs, macro and finance. So,
I mean, they're all big dogs, aren't they? All these. You don't know who's a big dog and who's not. They all seem to.
They're all big dogs, right? But you know what I find?
They're all at the same dog park.
They're all like really good people. Like all these like macro YouTube sort of guys. They're actually like really on the level good people. Like not, really they're not snobbish or anything. And I think it's because, I mean, it takes a certain type of person to do the YouTube thing. It's a lot of work to like, and I think they're just actually really keen on helping people, educating people. So
it's all about the skill set you have, and then turning that into something valuable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you got any books that you want to looking forward to read?
Looking forward to read.
Or have read that you want to talk about?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrants was interesting.
Ah, yep.
That was one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was like the quadrant. It's like 4 sections, and it's talking about employee to business owner to what's the other one?
I think it was employee and then self-employed. I think a business investor.
Investor, yeah. I can't remember the letters, to be honest.
I think it was ESBI. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's either you work for someone or you work for yourself. Then there's a business owner. And then there's the investor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were the 4 quadrants. It was an interesting perspective. Another one that I like was Rocket Fuel. That was probably the more recent one that I've read. It talks about integrators and visionaries. So visionaries are the people who like to come up with ideas. They sort of create the client base.
Yeah, the integrators.
And then you got the integrators who do the day-to-day ins and outs of the business.
You're saying that's you might need to team up with an integrator, yeah?
It would make my life a lot easier, and I would love that. I certainly don't see myself as an integrator, that's for sure.
If anyone's listening that's an integrator, talk to Luca.
I think I'm just work averse.
Yeah?
Well, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta do the work, hey? That's it.
Gotta do the work.
Cool, yeah. Well, there's a couple of books. Yeah, in terms of business books and stuff, I haven't read too much. Rich Dad Poor Dad was good. Getting Your Money to Work for You. There's more that I want to read. Kind of macro books. I'm taking The Prince by Nicola Machiavelli. It's like really thin, and I'm pushing on my weight restrictions going overseas. So I'm taking the smallest book. Yeah, and that, Machiavellianism, it's kind of, it seems some people are out there in society that use that, and that kind of philosophy, and I think it's pretty much an evil philosophy, and
there's like the politicians kind of use and whatnot.
I think it's part of that, maybe.
Right.
Dark Triad, yeah, it could be part of that.
Kind of like 48 Laws of Power type book.
I don't know that book, yeah.
Robert Greene. It's a good one.
Okay, yeah, right. But The Prince was written in like a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was like 1500s or something. So it's a very old text, but very prescient, I guess, for these modern times. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Any services you want to plug or talk about?
Not off the top of my head, but I was thinking I did have another idea for if I had a podcast of my own, or if you had a podcast in general, people who have affiliates, people who are affiliates, they're always promoting sort of what would I say, supplements. So my idea would be, rather than, I'm not really a supplement guy, but I was thinking, what type of food is the best food to be eating? And you want nutrient dense and organic, ideally. So I thought, if I was to plug people, rather than plugging supplements, I'd be plugging farms that are growing nutrient rich organic foods.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, that was just a thought that popped into my head the other day.
Yeah, awesome. So like, say if you're doing like a solo YouTube video or podcast or something.
Well, we could do it here, but it was just, I just had an idea.
But in terms of a service, you'd want to like link to like an affiliate link or something.
Yeah, if I was, because I was like, okay, what's something that people need, and it's, to eat well, to be healthy. But I don't really agree with supplements. Yeah. Not that I really have any scientific backing, but I just think that
you'd rather not. You'd rather just eat natural. Yeah.
I'd rather just eat naturally. Ideally. If I could.
Yeah.
A lot of the problem is that foods aren't very nutrient rich. They're not organic. But these days, there's a lot of local farms and local farmers that I've spoken to.
Yeah.
Who are, doing a lot to get the soils right in their farms, to make sure they're growing organic food, that it's
with biodiverse, the most highest nutrient content,
and trying to make it highly nutrient food as well, which is super important because it can be organic.
Nothing beats fresh,
but still not nutrient dense. It's very interesting because you can tell by the food. You can't tell. You might not tell because you're used to certain foods being as they are, but when you get vegetables that have tough as skin that you can't cut with a knife because it's that hard, you think, okay, this is why insects don't eat this food. Insects don't eat food that's nutrient dense because they can't digest it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So they're always generally attacking plants that are nutrient deficient.
So are you saying like the better the quality of food or veggie or plant it is, the less chance that insects will get to it?
Maybe. Think of a human. If someone's malnourished, they're less effective than someone that's, hydrated and well fed.
Yeah.
So you can do more to defend yourself if you're in tip-top shape.
Oh, yeah.
and that's the same with plants. So yeah, so I think, you know, plugging people that are doing, you know, plugging farms that are growing good food, good quality food, is a good way to differentiate between people who are promoting supplements.
Yeah,
and it's a good way to spread the word, because everyone's going to keep eating. I don't think supplements are, well, as they say, supplements aren't there to substitute food. So if you're going to eat food, you may as well eat the best
supplement diet. Yeah, absolutely. I remember hearing the old, I don't know if he has them anymore, but Joe Rogan used to do some good ads for food, like that seemed like really cool food companies that seemed to be really fresh and organic. And I think there was a beef company, and there was like the lion's mane mushroom thing. They had the athletic greens one, but that's not fresh, I guess, is it? It's not. I think that was a supplement, but I enjoyed like hearing about them for some reason. Like, I don't know, they just seem different from. So if you have a good food product to plug, I think people could be into that.
Yeah, good foods, good quality foods.
Yeah, what was that?
And
maybe no, it was the mushroom coffee, maybe like lion's mane mushroom coffee or something. Yeah, it sounded really cool. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to mention some international strategy channels. So, because recently I've been looking a lot into that. So as a service, so these resources available, like Nomad Capitalists, Offshore Citizen, Wealthy Expat, and a channel called Offshore in Asia. That's a smaller channel that I've recently been listening to. Just thought I'd plug these channels as for anyone that is looking to kind of diversify overseas, have more personal freedom, liberty, less taxes, just looking to cover some bases, I guess. So Nomad Capitalist is probably the most famous one. Andrew Henderson. So, yeah. So if you're into any of that stuff, getting passports, learning about visas, citizenships, check out those channels. Yeah. You got any thoughts on them? You've seen a few Nomad Capitalist videos, haven't you?
Yeah, I've watched a few videos. Yeah, I really like it. I really enjoy the perspectives that people have. I've been getting, signed up to the Nomad Capitalists emails. So I've been getting a few of those recently, which has been pretty interesting. I think there was one from today that I read, which is touches on the topic of making sure that the reasons that you're doing what you're doing are your reasons and not the reasons of others.
Yeah.
In the email, it was saying that a lot of people move to these countries because someone famous is doing it, or Nomad capitalist guy himself is doing it.
Or something.
Yeah, following those trends.
Don't get on the bandwagon. Do your own thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and if you are getting on the bandwagon, making sure that you're doing it for reasons that are beneficial to you.
Yeah.
And not for the sake of it.
Yeah, I want to get his book. I think it's kind of geared more towards US citizens from a few reviews that I've read. But his channel is really good because he really does like talk about heaps of countries. Like, it's not. I mean, he's kind of like biased towards Malaysia and that because he lives there, and places that he thinks are really good, which is fair enough because. I
suppose he wouldn't.
He knows about them.
Yeah, he wouldn't be there if they weren't the best ones.
Yeah, exactly. So, so he's good.
Yeah,
he's got a bit of a team, so you can reach out and talk to him.
I suppose I guess it's, it's targeted towards people who are making a fair bit of money already.
He's more on the high end. But you can still apply the concepts and you can still learn a lot. He does talk about investment a lot, like residency by investment or whatever, and it's pretty unattainable for a lot of people. So, but he doesn't always. Like he talked, I watched a video. He's talking about the Thai Elite visa, which I'm looking at, and that's attainable for. It's not like you have to spend $500,000 investing in a country. It's only like, it was 15 grand US, but now it's 17, I think, for a 5-year Thai Elite visa. So he talked about that. I'll talk about that visa actually, because it's, I was going to, and it's a pretty cool option. So Thailand has, a bunch of visa options, retirement visa, but this elite visa kind of stands out against the rest around the world that I've seen at the moment. Just seems to be a good deal. So basically, 17 grand US, which is about 26 grand Australian, and gives you 5 years free reign in the country. You get free airport pickup and like kind of expedited to the front of the line. You skip the queues, and I think you get a limo, or at least you get a nice car or something that takes you there. I think some of the options have like free golf and spa. I think that's the best package, ultimate one or something. But for someone, the downsides are, the cost, but you can't work in the country you can't take a Thai person's job, which is fair enough. But you can own a business there. You just can't actually work there. But you can work online, which is what I'm planning to do. So it's great for like digital nomads. And if, it's the cost of living so cheap there. So I worked it out, and I pretty much get my money back in a year and a half tops, from the savings.
In what way?
So say, if I eventually earn the same amount I could earn in Australia by living here, I'm cutting my expenses by 3 to 4 times.
Right. Okay.
So I'm saving that money, whereas in Australia I'll be spending it here.
Right. No, I get it. I thought you meant that your investment of 26,000 into the country gets you a return in some way. But you're saying that, by living there, you cut down your expenses.
It's just the cheaper cost of living, which equals a higher standard of living. So that pays for itself in, possibly a year and a half, someone like me. But, that's if I, get up to that sort of money there. But then you can extend the visa. So a 20-year visa would cost you, I think, 44 grand Australian all up. So I think, and that works out way cheaper than a year and a half to pay it off. It just makes it, like the money it costs per year. I haven't got a calculator here, but what's 44 grand divided by?
It's like 2 grand 20. A year, 2 point.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't much, right? When you're considering, say if I spend 3 grand a week, 3 grand a month here on living expenses, I'm spending $1 grand over there, it's 2 grand. Savings a month, times that by 12, 24 grand a year you'd be saving. Roundabouts. So I think that's how I calculated 1.5 years max because I might spend more than $1,000 over there or something like that. So yeah, so anyone interested in doing that kind of geographical arbitrage, you know, it'd be awesome if you have that kind of online income coming in, which is what I'm gonna bust my ass to try and do. It's a really awesome option, I think, and I might consider it. Getting that elite visa if I like it there. Yeah.
How long are you gonna wait? How long are you gonna give it?
I don't know, maybe a couple of months. Check out. I don't know.
Wouldn't give it a year?
I don't know. I have no idea. No idea, to be honest.
How long can you stay there at the moment?
A month. I think you can extend it 45 days.
Oh, right.
But you can just bump out of the country and then come back.
Anytime.
Get another month. Yeah, pretty sure.
How long do you have to be out of the country for?
I think you can literally just go out, cross the border, come back. I think, you know, like generally, you don't want to rub it in like that. I think it's a little bit frowned upon, but I don't know, I hear two kind of stories, but I think generally they want the tourists, so that they're happy for you to bump out and come back. But I'm just going to go to Saigon, Vietnam for a week and then just come back. Then I'll go to Malaysia after that, come back. Cheap ass flights. So, but you can also get an education visa for a year. So you can apply for an education visa. I think it could take around a month or something to get it. But you have to learn either Muay Thai fighting or Thai language. Yeah. So, or I think even Thai massage. So
Muay Thai fighter.
I can see you doing that, man.
No, I'm saying you do that.
Oh. I don't know about the legs, man. I think I'm like, if I get into something like that, it'll just be boxing. The legs freak me out. I don't want to like snap my shit and shit.
Yeah. Well, I think you probably...
Muay Thai is hardcore, man. I've seen that live. I remember doing like audio visual for a Muay Thai fight back in Perth, and fucking gnarly, man.
I think it's all about strength and conditioning, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Another fun fact, you know, prisoners in Thailand can reduce their sentence by fighting a foreigner in a Muay Thai fight and beating
Really?
him. Yeah, it's cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, I watched this video the other day, and it gives them real hope. Because I think prisons are shitholes in Thailand. So I mean,
do they have any training in prison, or do they just train them on their own?
I think they train in prison, yeah. They must do.
But I mean, do they have like trainers that come to the prison to train them, or are they just training just on their own?
I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I saw like a 15-minute video or something.
That's another level of patriotism right there. I love it.
Yeah, but they're literally fighting for their freedom, which is pretty cool, isn't it? I think... Yeah, I don't know. I think they're fighting to only have their sentence reduced by something small, like 5 years or something on like it.
5 years is a lot of time.
Yeah.
To be in prison.
But like for a long sentence, maybe that's not much. But
I think it's a long time. It's worth it.
I think it's cool because
definitely give it a try.
Yeah, but like you're learning discipline. You're learning like a lot of things, right, to become a good fighter. And it beats like someone, you know, like a pedo going out on parole or some shit, you know, like maybe in this country, it's like, yeah, you know, even though they might have done something bad, it could rehabilitate them better, you know.
Well, yeah, it's certainly an opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting though. So, so the Thai elite visa, you can learn Muay Thai, you can learn Thai language, which would be cool. Which I might do education visa, but you have to go to classes. But I'd enjoy that. Like they're really strict. Like I think some people have abused that education visa by not going to classes. But
they end up in prison. They become a Muay Thai
deported.
fighter.
Yeah, I think they just get their ass kicked out. And yeah, so that's the Thai Elite visa. If anyone's interested, 5, 10-year, 20-year options. Those international strategy channels again are Nomad Capitalist, Offshore Citizen, Wealthy Expat. Wealthy Expat, it's a guy named Raphael. He's based in Dubai, so he knows a lot about Dubai, like Dubai Free Zone visas and a bunch of other visas in Dubai, digital nomad ones. The Free Zone visa in Dubai is the most attractive, I'd say. I think it's pretty much you pay like around 10, 15 grand Australian or something. It might have been £10,000 or euro. But it pretty much means you can run your company from Dubai as long as you're not setting up inside it and pay zero tax. It's fucking cool. I don't believe in income tax, so I like that. And Offshore in Asia is like a new little channel, but yeah, they mainly center on Southeast Asia, I think, so they have some cool information, but yeah, not. They're a couple of Aussie guys actually, so. But Offshore Citizen's good, Wealthy Expat, and you can book calls with them, so all good. Nomad Capitalist is more for the higher end, but all his videos are really valuable, so yeah. Cool. Got any thoughts on macro, Luca?
No, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I haven't really been focusing too much, except there's one thing. So the US are pretty much maxed out on their debt, their public debt, government debt, and they have something called a debt ceiling. And I think they're doing I think the interest on their debt is at least 1 trillion, 1 or 2 trillion a year. So they're paying it's in the trillions, I'm pretty sure. And if they don't raise the debt ceiling, because I think they have to roll over this debt if they want to pay out the debt on like treasury bonds and stuff. So yeah, they have to raise this debt ceiling. It's a political process. So it'll probably, 95%, I'd say it'll just keep getting raised, because that's, they'll destroy society that way, but through debt instead of defaulting. But technically, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, USA could default on debt payments, which would be catastrophic probably. So, but, what are they going to do? They're going to kick the can down the road. They're going to raise that debt ceiling, I'd say.
Going to renovate that house. Lift those ceilings.
Yeah, inflate or die. And I think they're going to inflate. So, yep, that's my really only observation. Hasn't been any more bank collapses as far as I can tell. I think Pacific West Bank. But gold price is hovering around 3,000 Australian. I think silver's about 36, 37. So yeah, cool. All right, what do you want to achieve in the next week?
This week, staying focused. Got 3 days on this course, so gonna focus in on that.
Should be fun,
I'll
man.
have 1 or 2 days either side of that, so check out Sydney a little bit.
Nice.
And
smash that course out. You gonna get try and get a date in Sydney?
Try and get a date. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to. We'll see how we go. You have to
meet girls in real life, because you haven't had you don't use the apps, do you?
No, I don't use the apps.
I haven't for a while either, but
maybe I'll have to plug it in.
Just say Melbourneite touring through Sydney,
Melbourne,
here for a few days, looking for
short-term romance.
That's right. Yeah, cool, man. That should be fun, hey?
Or business partnerships, welcome.
Yeah.
Business ideas, welcome.
Focus, Luca. Focus.
Well, just trying to incorporate love and business,
Just that
if one doesn't work out, maybe the other will.
Entrepreneurial girl.
That's it.
Match made in heaven.
No, I don't think it would be. I think it'd be a horrible idea.
Yeah, it'd be conflicting. She might make more money than you. Blah, blah, blah. It's just going to end in tears.
Yeah. I can't have a boss babe
in
my life. It doesn't work.
It reduces the chances of it working out if money is a factor. Cool. Yeah. Myself, not really much there.
What are you going to achieve in the next week?
Oh, I'm going to smash my course tomorrow, actually. Yeah. Hopefully I push through, get this lease transfer done in this place. Smash some coursework, work out all my logistical stuff for moving. What else do I want to achieve?
What do you want to have done by Wednesday next week?
Wednesday next week, I want to finish this option trading course. I'm halfway through, I think. So, but I stalled.
So how many hours do you have left in total?
Get this podcast uploaded. I'm not working at the moment, so I get a shitload of time. So
no, but great. I mean, how many hours do you have left of the course? Do you reckon?
I don't know. Maybe it could be maybe like 3 days solid or something, all day or something like that. I imagine, yeah.
Okay, so if you do half a day every day, you'll be set by Wednesday.
Yep.
I like it.
Should I aim for that?
Well, I mean, depends. Do you want to do it all in a day, or do you want to do a half day?
Yeah, I can do some pretty big stints. I could probably be at the computer for like 3 hours and then just get up, go for a walk and come back and then another 3 hours.
Yeah, smash it out.
So yeah, I guess that at the moment, and then I got to do some stuff, book a flight and stuff. Onward flight, but yeah, cool. Any questions you want to post to the audience for any feedback?
Yes. I've got a couple of questions. One, what is your money dial? So if you remember from our discussion earlier, what is something that you will happily spend money on without consideration? Or with consideration, but something that you're happy to spend money on that gives you a lot of value.
Yeah.
Another question is, if you've done any courses, what have you found to be, what do you like about the courses that you've done, whether they're in person or online? What do you find most interactive? What don't you like? What do you think could be improved? And any problems that you have encountered along the way, whether it's system or the interface or interactive, how interactive it is. Do you prefer videos? Do you prefer written content?
Do you take notes? Do you recommend notes?
Do you take notes? And do you prefer longer courses, shorter courses? I guess, that might vary with topic. But yeah, I guess some things that have worked and haven't worked, things that you would like to see in future courses, things that you don't want to see ever again. So, yeah.
Yeah, let us know if any of those websites, Skillshare and stuff, if you've been on them, let us know. I haven't checked them out, but I'm interested. So maybe even posting something on there, a little course, short course or something.
And if you've made a course, hit us up. If you've got any tips,
give it a plug.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd just say, maybe chuck in if you have any recommended books. I'm probably going to start listening to some audio books more because I go for walks a lot and struggle to find time to sit down with a written book these days. But Yeah. All right. Tell us your recommended books, anyone, for investing, finance, business, entrepreneurship. Throw it out there in the YouTube comments. I'll get this on Rumble soon, but everything's on YouTube so far. So yeah. Cool, man. Should we wrap it up?
Let's do it.
All right, signing off. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers, Luca, for another good podcast. It could, I don't know, we'll probably do another one here, but could be our last one. I will do it next week.
We should definitely do one more.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Signing off. Catch you later, everyone.
Cheers.